Janetsky and the founder of this group of Awakened Motherhood, and of Overwhelmed Solution for Moms. And I want to come in today to focus on two of the biggest truths that I've learned. And this is as a therapist, a marriage and family therapist, as a parenting coach, as a mom. I'm a mom of two. And my biggest lessons, of course, come from the day in, day out, working with my own kids, working with myself and my parenting strategies. And that's what I'm always bringing to you, what's working best. And I want to just start by saying, I know when you have a really intense kid, a high needs kid, a kid who has a lot of anxiety, who is really high strung or has a hard time just coping with their own emotions, I know that most of the time falls on the mom. And when I say falls on the mom, sometimes you choose to be sort of the main support person for your kiddo. And then sometimes you just kind of wish someone else would do it, but there's no one else who can do it like you can. And so I know how hard it is. And the only way to really get better at helping your child, or at helping your child to kind of manage their emotions better, or to be calmer, or to be able to cope with life better, is to learn some new strategies. And it's really, I just know what it's like. I know what it's like to be in your shoes if you feel lost. I know what it's like to be in your shoes if you feel like nobody understands and nobody can help you. If you feel like no one's really qualified to help you. This is why I'm here, and it's why I show up all the time to talk about these same things every week. It's what I help my clients with. I hated feeling lost. I hated feeling like no one understood me or no one could help me. And like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars and hours and my energy have gone into finding ways, strategies, helpful solutions so that you wouldn't have to feel lost like I felt lost, so that, you could learn what is going to help your child, put it into practice, test it, get feedback, and see results quickly. And sometimes we wish it was overnight, and usually it's not overnight. But change can happen no matter how bad it is right now, no matter how much conflict is coming from trying to parent your child on maybe opposite sides of the aisle, or with very little time and energy. I just want you to know that I see you, and I want you to know that I know it's hard, and I want you to know that you are not in this alone, and that there are so many things that we can do to help you help your child. And we have tons of success with this in our programs. I could share story after story after story over the last 10 years of doing program work with my clients, and how the things that you do matter. And if what you're doing is not working now, then there are things we can do to shift that so that you get a better result from your kiddo. I don't want you to feel alone. I don't want you to feel lost. And I know that that you can get stuck if you start feeling negative thoughts like that. You can really get stuck in that, and then defeat is a much harder place to climb out of than frustration. Frustration, annoyance, irritability, feel like you're banging your head against the wall. That's a much easier place to resource from than despair or hopelessness. It's hard when you get there, and if you're doing that and you're alone, and you aren't sure what to do next, then I'm going to share a couple of ideas with you today that you can practice, that you can get some feedback on, as well as an opportunity for a free consult. If we haven't had one lately, or we haven't had one before, there's an offer here for you that may really help you if you're ready for it. So I want to just share with you two big truths, and these truths are things that I have seen and I know now, and I see with my clients now, and that became really obvious after working this approach that I work with my own kids and that I teach other moms. And really there's no way around this first one. And it's so obvious and you may kind of know it. Yeah, of course it's obvious. I already know that. But I want you to really listen to this and get this. The first truth is that there is no possibility of helping your child to deal with their emotions or calm down or come out of overwhelm unless you are already in a calm state. Yeah, we all know it. Everyone talks about it. We know it. But I want to tell you a little bit more about what that means. So I'll just call the skill for the sake of just to keep it in the obvious. I'm just going to call it self-calming. So there are a lot of different ways that we can learn self-calming skills or self-soothing skills. A lot of women who I've helped did not get this piece growing up. No one taught them how. It's not a normal everyday thing that people know how to do. Just intuitively, it's something that most of us have to study, practice, and learn. Okay. So let's just jump in right now with those of you who are watching. I can't quite see who's on now, but those of you who are watching and then those who are watching back, just drop in the chat. Do you like scale of 1 to 5? How confident are you in knowing how to calm yourself down or in having a self-soothing tool in your toolbox? Do you know what that is? Do you try anything? Have you done it before? Have you experienced it before? Scale of 1 to 5. So 5 is, yes, I know exactly what it is. I know how to use it. I've done it before and I can do it again. 1 is, I haven't really heard the term self-soothing, or I don't really know what self-calming, where to begin with self-calming. Like no one's ever taught me this before. So just go ahead and drop that in the comments below this so that I can look back and see those. Okay. So in order to help our kids to develop this magical ability to understand what they're feeling, to deal with their emotions quickly, and to come back to a relaxed state or a calm state, there are a lot of processes inside the body that need to happen. There are a lot of things around their nervous system functioning, their brain function, their understanding of their emotions. There are a lot of these little kind of building blocks of being able to, for a child to be able to kind of come out of overwhelm and return to a place where they're feeling okay. We know that, and that's about the kid. What parents make the mistake of doing is they try to do these things to a child, like onto a child. I'm trying to teach my child about their emotions. What are you feeling? I'm trying to help my kid to name what they're feeling. What are you overwhelmed? What's going on? And that just increases the anxiety for kids. This increases the anxiety. So if a kid's getting worked up and you go like, what's going on? Or you're arguing with them. No, we're not going to do that. We don't have time for this. They're going to escalate more. Their anxiety's going up. But the piece that people forget is like, but what's going on in me? So what's going on in me when my kid is escalating? I'm probably joining them in it. I'm probably getting more frustrated. I'm looking at my watch. We don't have time for this. We can't do this. We can't be late to school again. Oh my gosh. And then now my blood pressure's going up. Now my kiddo is getting more and more stressed, and I am getting more and more kind of panicked that I don't know what to do here. I don't know how to solve this, right? Have you been there? If you've been there, say yes in the chat, in the comments. Almost all of us have been there. Our first reaction is not to go like super zen when our kids are getting worked up. It's not natural. But if you escalate when your kiddo escalates, anything you try to say to them, you try to model for them, you try to do to them, is not going to give you the result of helping them relax and de-escalate because you are not relaxed and calm. Okay, that is like universally true. It is always true. Why is it true? Because your kids feel you more than they hear you. Your kids feel you more than they hear you. What you are feeling, what you are being, The energy, the emotion that you're in, the mindset that you're in is what will get communicated to your child much louder than anything that you say in words. So we have to learn how to communicate with our thoughts and emotions, with our energy, with our kind of presence. We have to learn how to communicate with them that way so that they quickly receive it and crisis is averted. Okay, that's number one. Number two, the other big truth is that kids need to be able to feel what they feel, and they need to feel it all the way through. If we interrupt their process of moving through a feeling, of getting upset about something, because we're trying to distract them, we're trying to shift it, we're trying to convince them they don't need to feel like that, we're trying to rush in and fix it, we're trying to change their focus. You know, you may remember that this worked when they were 18 months old. It worked when they were 2 years old. But by the time a kid starts to differentiate from us and they realize they are their own human being, so 3, 4, 5, they realize that they have their own identity. And once that starts to kind of gel, then that quick, let me distract you thing just kind of becomes, it's funny, the word that came in is like insulting. It just kind of is like an insult to their experience. It is an interruption of a process they very much need to learn to move through and to see all the way to the finish as a growing child, adolescent, ultimately as an adult. To be able to feel our feelings is like a superpower. It really is. To not get caught in them, to not get stuck in something before we're able to fully feel it and understand it, because that's where our wisdom comes from. The more we can understand what we're feeling, the more wisdom we have about how to move through life and be a great decision maker, the more confidence we have that we can walk into any situation and totally handle it. Okay, so that's what we want our kids to have, right? We want them to have the confidence to own a room. We want them to have the confidence to go after what they want. We want them to have the confidence to say what they feel, to stand for what's not right, to stick up for someone who's more vulnerable than them. We want to give our kids these gifts. So the step one of this process of helping them to be able to be smart and confident and move through their emotions, de-escalate themselves really quickly without fighting with you, pulling so much energy from you. The way to do that is to first just understand, and for us it just happens here first, to understand that our children need to feel what they feel, and they need to feel it all the way through. Now, I know that a lot of people trip and fall into this space of, but my kids' feelings are so big, so loud, and so long. It's just too much to handle. It's too much. And now I feel exhausted. And now I feel like, well, that was all my energy for today, and now it's done. And we haven't even started the day yet. I just got them off to school, and now I need like an hour-long nap. It's so exhausting. It doesn't have to be like that. Helping a kid to de-escalate or to deal with their overwhelm, or to build the skills to not have to be falling into that all the time is totally possible. It's totally possible. There will never be a time when your kid is like this little android, this perfect robot that doesn't have big emotions and feelings, but you can teach your kids, and this is what we do with our clients. We teach our clients, moms, how to impart those skills in their kids now. We're teaching them how to train their kids up into a place where they're not getting stuck in overwhelm, where they're able to de-escalate. And we're doing it fast without someone getting stuck and then you losing so much of your time and energy to your kids' big meltdowns or outbursts. It really doesn't have to be like that. So let's just recap quickly the two biggest things that I've shared with you today for you to really, really take into your family and put into practice are: one, you are only going to be able to help your child to find their way through their big emotions if or when you are calm. You are not escalating with them. You're not reacting to them. You are present, relaxed. And the only way that happens, you guys, like for anyone, for everyone, it's not a mind over matter thing. It's having a process. If you don't know how to do it, come and talk to me. I'll go through the process with you. I'll tell you what is. Book a free call. Just book a free. I'll drop a 20-minute free consult link around here. I will share what the process is with you. I'll actually go through like how we get you there, what we teach our clients. You can see if you want to come and work with us and get that. And we can discuss different ways to do that. But if you are like, I have a process, I'm working the process, it's not working with my kid, then that's not the right process for your kid. So your child is showing you and giving you feedback that he or she needs something else, something that you have. So maybe there's a mismatch there, and I can help you tease that out too if you want to book a call. Well, let's just like sort of examine and see what you're doing so far and what's working and what's not working. And if it's just might be a quick fix, and I can tell you what that is. If it's not, then you need possibly you need a little pivot in the way that you're approaching the problem or the way that you're working with your kid and your kid's temperament. So the second thing is that our kids really need to feel what they're feeling, and they need to feel it all the way through. When we interrupt that process for them by trying to fix it, trying to prevent the pain, trying to, get to work on time, a lot of times it's just logistics, right? So, and you can't like get fired from your job because your kid is having meltdowns and outbursts, but I know people do. And I know that like you can't afford that. We cannot afford that. We cannot afford to oftentimes to like become a full-time homeschooling mom, going from full-time income to this, like we have to rearrange everything in the structure of our lives. It's so much easier to just work with your parenting approach and the interventions that you're using and to find one that works for you. Then you get to keep your income. Your kid gets to keep going to school, and you can then work with school if you need to, the teachers if you need to make sure your kid is successful in that way. I know so many parents who have pulled their kids out of school thinking this is the only solution there is, only to find out that homeschooling is so much harder because actually it's a relationship issue that doesn't go away. When your kid is having meltdowns and outbursts, it becomes a relationship problem, obviously, because if it's hard to be around my kid, that's going to affect the relationship. So why not work on that and fix that rather than changing the whole puzzle around? And this is where it can be like an incredible investment of your energy, time, and money to just solve the problem that's going on with your kid, right? So come and talk to me about it. Get on my calendar, offering a free consult right now. I've got some spots open tomorrow on the calendar. There may be one or two this afternoon as well. We'll hop on for 20 minutes. It's a phone call. It's not a Zoom, so you can do it from the car. You can do it from wherever. You can tell me what's going on with your kiddo. I'll do a quick assessment. I'll ask you some pointed questions to kind of get to the bottom of what's going on, and then we can look at like what are you doing? What have you tried? What's working and not working? And then if it makes sense for us to go over a strategy, for us to go over a process that's something that I know is going to help your kiddo, I'll share that with you so we can have a chat about what you're needing, what you're wanting, and we'll find what's a fit for you. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for joining me for this. Please let me know right now in the comments what's helpful. What did you hear? What's sticking with you? And thanks for joining me live for the broadcast. See you next time.